MotorEx 22, I'm here with Rob Zahabi. Very special car behind me, mate.
Yeah, a little bit special. You know, it's not often you get to build a car for a V8 Supercar driver.
I was about to say the truck behind us might give the owner away.
Could give you away a little bit, or maybe the race car sitting next to us. So,
give us a quick rundown of what model it is and stuff like that, and then we might jump into the build a little bit.
So it's a 74 XB Coupe. He brought it to us in about 2018, and it's for Cam Waters.
Yeah, nice. The car came to you. Cam was doing a lot of work himself. Is that correct?
Yeah, he was going to do a lot of the work himself with his dad. So in 2018, we put all the front suspension in it and the rear suspension. He took it back down to Melbourne to his dad's house, and they started taking the primer and the bog off it that was already on the shell when he bought it. And what they found underneath scared the shit out of him. So basically it came straight back up to us after that, and then we had to fix all the steel work and then start from there.
Yeah, unfortunately the XB Coupes, they're really not in good condition anymore if they've never been restored. They've been sitting around for a few years now, and even the ones that were looked after are probably starting to get a bit sad.
Well, they've all got a history, man, and you know, there's everything's always hidden underneath something. So when you get it back to bare steel, you find out what it really looks like.
You never know. It could have been a speedway car in the 70s, or you never know.
Oh man, it could have done anything. You know, I mean, it's 50 years old now. Yeah. You know, like that. A lot of people don't think of it that way, but you know, like we all think of the 50 Chevs and all that they're really old, which they are. But now all these things are nearly, you know, hitting the 50-year mark as well. So,
where did the vision come from this car? Like, you know, obviously, Cam's had a dream to build a car like this, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he. A lot of the ideas were his. We've obviously put our input and spin on it as well. But the colour, like he threw 8 or 9 colours around, man. I was like, I didn't know where we were going with it. We were white at one stage, grey, then we were orange, and then I'm like, wow, all right, I'm just going to wait till you really know what you're going to do there with that one. Just tell me right before we put in the gun. So, but yeah, no, he's picked the colours. You know, it's obviously got a V8 Supercar motor in it. John Grove built the engine for him. They were going to use his Sandown block, but when they started to pull it down, it was beyond repairs, so they had to get a new block. But they've obviously raided the room at the Tickford race team. They've stolen a few parts out of the shop maybe each afternoon, and
put a few in his pocket every hour. End up with a full setup.
Yeah, so now he's got a full setup of the old V8 Supercar motor, which I think is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that's unique, definitely, and especially, you know, Ford motor and a Falcon Coupe.
Yeah, look, it was a lot different for us too, because like this engine mounts off the sump with the V8 Supercar sump that it's got in it. So obviously there's a lot of different things to put a V8 Supercar motor in a road car. You know, they've got tubular chassis, everything's built to suit. So it was a little bit tricky, but it was so exciting. I like different stuff.
What have been some of the challenges of this build? Other than the motor?
The oil system in it was a little bit of a challenge to try and keep it looking as neat as possible. It's got electric aircon. You know, it's got electric power steering, because the V8 motor won't run any of that stuff. So, you know, there's not much we could do with hiding all that stuff. So we've got a lot of stuff tucked away in the fenders and stuff like that. So all the things you can't see were the challenges.
Tell us about the front end, rear end, and stuff like that.
So the front end, we opted with a McDonnell Brothers universal kit in the front, and we've basically chopped out his, as we all know, I call them the ugly Ford shock towers. You know, people might disagree with that one, but it opens up the engine bay for a little bit, and we mainly did it because of the motor mounting, and we needed all that room and stuff. And then we've got a triangulated 4-link in the rear, and we're running shockwave airbags.
Yeah. I've no doubt that'll keep the car handling quite well, better than factory, that's for sure. This motor's going to get it going much better than factory. I see the interiors looking like very plush, very nice car. This will be a great street car. Before you tell us about what a great street car, but tell us about the trim.
So the interior, we wanted to use the Alcantara mainly because he's gone with the GT3 Porsche colour. We thought, all right, well, we'll marry it up with what a GT3 sort of would have in it, an Alcantara. So we went with the Alcantara, and we've also used the XR6 seats in it, front and rear, so it keep the same sort of Ford theme going inside the whole car. We've got one of the new Haltech dashes in it. It's the first one in the world, actually. It's a new 10-inch dash, which is pretty cool. You know, we've got a lot of Ring Brothers parts inside it, adjustable shifter. It actually took us a good 4 days to get Cam's seating position, because he's so, you know, particular with obviously being a professional driver. He's, you know, he wants everything right where he needs it.
Ergonomics play a big part.
Exactly. Yeah. So he flew up a couple of times for us to set all that sort of stuff up. So yeah, and then the the AC vents are pretty cool. They're like a really cool custom-made billet vent. We've kind of kept less in there, but then we got the Haltech keypad you would see in the console.
Yep.
That sort of runs the whole car. So it's sort of not much visually there, but everything there just ties in well.
What's Cam been like to work with along the way, like from start to finish?
He's been unbelievable. He's a nice person. He's got a great family. He gets along with the boys really well, as you know.
There's Mike Ring.
Oh yeah, he loves doing that to me. I think it's SEMA show. He pulled hairs off my leg in an interview. He's been great to deal with. He's more of a friend now than a customer. So
I think a lot of customers become friends after you work with them for a bit. It's like, you're in each other's pockets that much, like, talking and, and whatever else.
Yeah.
Texting late at night, no doubt, all the time.
Yeah, I mean, we've been speaking to him all morning. He just raced in Kansas. Yeah. So, we were watching his race, texting him when he's in and out of the car, it was awesome. So, he's so excited. He's so bummed he couldn't be here, but, we've done everything to make him feel like he is here anyway. Even his little cardboard cutout,
Well, racing pays the bills. That's the way it goes, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, you can't build the car without doing the work.
Yeah, that's right. Touch on that. Cam has been still very hands-on with this car.
Yeah, so when it went back to Melbourne, he did the tunnel in the car, he did the tubs in the car, he did a lot of work on the car. He loves getting his hands dirty. He was actually the one that took all the old primer and putty off it with a flapper disc, man. He was sending me photos covered from head to toe in bog dust. So,
You know the feeling too.
Yeah, exactly. He's been on the tools, yeah. He was loving it. And he was going to be on the tools more, but, once it found the steel problems that it had, it was beyond him to sort of repair it. So
close to, the car being close to finish a few weeks ago, now it's finished. How was Cam's thoughts of, the car, what it's like? Obviously, he loves it.
Well, he flew up last week and stayed with us, and we did a video that everyone's probably seen on socials. Yep. First thing he said to me, can I go out in the cul-de-sac and do a donut? And I said, no, let's just wait till after MotorEx, which didn't go down too well. But, he's keen to just get in this thing and drive it. We will get it back, and John Grove wants to put on a chassis dyno now. As we all know, he's already done the engine dyno, it was in Street Machine. So now he wants to put it on the chassis dyno and make sure everything's in sync. And then we'll do some road testing and dial everything in. Probably fly Cam up to Queensland and maybe try and do 4 hours at QR for tuning, like for him testing, and also maybe do a cool video.
Yeah, that'd be great. He's going to use the car on the street. You might even see Cam pop up at a track day here and there, tracking his car.
I reckon you will too.
What sort of, with that V8 Supercar motor, what sort of noise is it making?
Once you get the revs up in the thing, wow. Very NASCAR-ish in my mind, but, people might disagree on that one too, but that's what it reminds me of.
And Tremac gearbox, keeping it, 3 pedals?
Yeah, so he's got a 6-speed in it, so, yeah. Wouldn't have been the same with an auto, would it?
Nah, someone like Cam Waters, we all know him as a great Australian racing car driver. We want to see a guy like that stick with the stick shift.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was one of his, 100% that had to have. So, and that was a little bit of an issue too, working out the pedal box, because we've got it all under the dash, and then we had to introduce a third pedal, which is another master cylinder under the dash, and there's not much room in there, Anyway, we made it all work.
Unveiled here at MotorEx 22. MotorEx unveils are special. I always find, we go around a lot of these events around the country, but MotorEx hits pretty hard.
It does, and we've been, obviously, as you know, sneak peeking. We haven't sort of released the colour, but been actually shocked how many people, because we haven't been sort of releasing the little snippets for that long. It's only been a couple of months, but the amount of people who have come up and said, wow, I've been following this thing, been hanging to see this thing. It's been really cool and really overwhelming, and that's probably due to who it is for as well. Well,
we love seeing the car here at MotorEx 22. We want to thank Cam. No, you'll probably have to check out the video, see what you've been,
Yeah, I mean, look,
what you've been saying?
Us as car builders can't build this sort of stuff without a person that, is guiding us and paying the bills. So, it's a joint venture, and I'm just honoured that he chose us to build it.
Awesome. You heard from Rob Zahabi himself here. Cam's car here at MotorEx 22. Mad.